At the beginning of the story, we see a prison in Siberia where many German soldiers were lined up. After the end of World War II, Russia imprisoned many German soldiers and made them work in coal mines day and night. However, the security of this prison was very low. But despite this, no one tried to escape from this prison because there was snow all around this prison, and this prison was 14,000 kilometers away from any human settlement. So even if a prisoner escaped from this prison, his death was certain in the freezing cold of Siberia. This prison was built in the midst of snow spread over thousands of kilometers. That is why no prisoner could even think of escaping from here. But there was one prisoner among these prisoners who was very sharp-minded and wanted to escape from this prison and go to his wife and daughter. This prisoner was Clemens Forell, who had to serve a sentence of 25 years in this prison. Clemens did not want to spend half of his life in this prison. Luckily, one day Clemens got a chance to escape, and he boarded a coal goods train and escaped from this prison. Now when he saw the stars in the open sky outside the prison, he jumped with joy, but this happiness was short-lived. After traveling a little distance, the freight train was stopped, and when Clemens peeped out, he saw a Russian soldier standing in front of him with a gun pointing his gun. Unfortunately here, Clemens was caught, and for escaping from the prison, he was locked in an open-air cell. It was very cold, and the rain that fell at night made Clemens' condition worse. Clemens was kept in that cell not for a few hours, but for 2 whole days now. After 2 whole days, the next morning, the jail warden came to him and took him out of the cell and did not torture him at all, but just said that his mates are eagerly waiting for him now. Now when Clemens met his mates, they were waiting for him with sticks and rods. They were all very angry at Clemens because of Clemens' escape, they had been kept hungry for the last 2 days. And now Clemens understood the warden's mad words why he had said that his mates are waiting for him now. Now, on seeing Clemens, the other prisoners attacked him and beat him very badly in this assault. Clemens was so badly injured in this assault that he had to be admitted to the prison hospital. The doctor of this prison was also a German prisoner. As soon as Clemens regained consciousness, he told the doctor that, "I want to escape from the prison once again, and I need your help." The doctor was surprised to see Clemens' bravery, that even after facing so much, he was not ready to give up. The doctor explained to him that it is impossible to escape from this prison alive, and even if you escape from here, then you will die in the freezing cold outside. But the reality is that even if you don't escape from here, your death is certain, because the coal mines where you work have a very high amount of carbon which enters your body through the air and causes dangerous diseases like cancer. That is why the doctor told Clemens that he should try to escape from this prison one last time. So, after that, the doctor took out all his warm clothes, shoes, and all the necessary stuff and gave it to Clemens, and told him that Russian soldiers hide their food near the railway lines. Along with this, he also gave Clemens a gun so that he could protect himself. Actually, the doctor had already collected all this stuff because he himself wanted to escape from this prison. But a week ago, he came to know that he was a cancer patient and he did not have more than 1 month to live. Now he gave Clemens a lunchbox and said that if you survive, then deliver this lunchbox to my family and tell them that I am no longer in this world. Here once again, in the darkness of the night, Clemens escaped again, and this time he decided to walk instead of taking a goods train. After walking all night, he keeps walking even in the morning because he's afraid that the Russian soldiers might catch him. Now, when the warden found out in the morning that Clemens had escaped from jail, he went straight to the doctor's room to question him. But before he could reach there, the doctor had committed suicide, because he knew that after hearing the news of Clemens' escape, the warden would torture him to death. After this, the warden sent several Russian soldiers to look for Clemens and ordered them to catch him alive and bring him back. But even after searching for several days, he could not find any trace of Clemens. Clemens' lucky thing was that as the snowfall started, his footprints were getting erased, which made it difficult to find Clemens. Everyone started thinking that Clemens must have frozen to death in this cold. But the warden was not ready to believe, because he knew that Clemens was very strong and he would not give up so easily. That is why he ordered to continue the search. On the other hand, we see Clemens, who was moving forward with full enthusiasm, crossing the snowstorm. 9 days after escaping from jail, he suddenly heard the sound of dogs barking, and as he turned back, he saw a sledge coming towards him. Before he could run away, the sledge came to him, climbed over him, and went ahead. Then Clemens' eyes opened, and he realized that he was just dreaming. Actually, Clemens had been walking for the last 9 days, and now his food had also finished. Due to hunger and fatigue, it had become difficult for him to move. But despite this, Clemens did not give up and kept walking. Somehow, after a few days, his body also gave up, and he fainted from hunger. Now, after a few hours, when he regained consciousness, he heard a strange sound around him, and then he saw a seal. And as soon as he saw it, his eyes lit up. He immediately took out his gun and tried to aim with all his might. But due to fatigue and weakness, his aim went wrong, and the seal started running away from there. Clemens, who had got a small hope of staying alive after many days, could not let go of this hope. Clemens immediately ran after it. But while running, Clemens fell into the water due to the breaking of the ice, due to which his leg gets hurt. But despite being injured, he started chasing the seal.
And then after walking continuously for 2 months, Clemens saw a small tree in this snowy field. Seeing this tree, Clemens was so happy that he felt as if he had found a treasure, that he ran and embraced the tree. In fact, this tree was a sign that after walking continuously for 2 months, Clemens had crossed the snowy plain and the forest was about to begin. After walking a little further, exactly what he had thought happened. The forest was about to begin from here. The snowy area was ending. He was very happy in the forest. He gathered wood and lit a fire, and after many months, slept peacefully for the first time. But whether the next day was peaceful for him or not, no one knows. On the other side, we see the warden who was still looking for Clemens, and he ordered his search party to look for Clemens within a radius of 500 kilometers, while Clemens was passing through a forest when suddenly a snowstorm hit. This storm was so strong that even big trees were uprooted from the ground and started falling. As Clemens tries to move ahead, a big tree falls right on him. Clemens was lucky that 2 men were passing by in the evening who were looking for gold. They saw Clemens and saved his life in time. Then all 3 of them moved forward together, and after several days of travel, they came out of the snowy plains on the way. On the way, they found a river, and to cross it, they made a wooden boat. While crossing the river, they started talking to each other and telling each other childhood stories. But in the meantime, the flow of the river increased, and the boat started going out of control. In such a situation, one of the companions lost control and fell straight into the water. He did not know how to swim. He started drowning. Seeing this, Clemens jumped into the water and somehow brought the man to the shore and saved his life. On the other side, their other companion left them to drown and went ahead alone. His other companion was very greedy. He thought that both of them must have died, and due to greed, he kept his friend's gold with himself. After some time, when Clemens and the other man reached the tent, that man got very angry with his friend
and continued their journey. Both of them kept walking for many months in the hope that they would find some human population. But winter season came again, and the forests everywhere were covered in a white sheet of snow. The luggage that the man had carried was very heavy. That is why he was finding it difficult to walk in the snow. Seeing this, Clemens tried to lighten his load and said that, "Give me your luggage for some time." But here, the man suspected that maybe Clemens also wanted to steal his gold. So he attacked Clemens and pushed him down, due to which Clemens became unconscious. After a while, when Clemens regained consciousness, he saw that a pack of wolves was coming towards him. To save his life, he started climbing a tree. But while climbing the tree, one wolf caught his leg and grabbed it. But the tree was weak and it broke from the middle, causing Clemens to fall down. Now Clemens thought that his death was certain. Then suddenly the sound of a gunshot came. Clemens opened his eyes and saw that some wolves were dead and those who were alive had fled. Actually, the hunters of the area came and saved his life. They took him to their village where the villagers treated him. After years of hard work, Clemens had reached a human settlement. He was very happy to see people. He stayed in the village for several days, and the people took good care of him. One day, a letter arrived in the village from none other than the warden himself. It said that a German soldier had escaped from our prison, and if anyone gave him shelter, he would be called a traitor. Now, unwillingly, Clemens had to leave this village, because if he did not leave from here, the warden would punish the villagers also. Before leaving, the villagers gave him food and a hunting dog. In this long journey, Clemens had a companion now, so now he was not feeling lonely. They both kept walking for many days. On the way, they saw a wood factory, and the dog ran towards it in search of food. Now Clemens went inside the mill to save his dog. The workers there recognized Clemens and took him to the owner. There, Clemens told his whole story to the owner, due to which everyone felt pity for Clemens. They fed him and put him on a train going to Germany. Clemens was happy that he would soon reach home, but he did not know that the owner of the mill had informed the warden about him. Now the warden was waiting for him at the station with his soldiers. But before reaching the station, Clemens saw the Russian soldiers from a distance, and as soon as he got a chance, jumped off the train and escaped. But unfortunately, the Russian soldiers saw him and started chasing him. Clemens quickly crossed the tracks, but suddenly, out of nowhere, the warden appeared. Seeing this, Clemens' heart got nervous, because now he felt that his years of hard work had gone to waste. Now before the warden could arrest him, Clemens' dog attacked the warden and bit him, and thus once again, Clemens got a chance to escape, and he started running away with all his life. But then he heard the sound of a gunshot, and when he looked back, he saw his dog dead. Seeing this, Clemens was very sad, but despite this, he did not stop and kept moving forward with all his might. After that, he climbed up the bridge and jumped on the passing train below and escaped from there. And in this way, he escaped from the warden's hands again. Now days passed like this, and Clemens slowly kept moving forward in this journey. Soon, the year 1952 arrived, and it had been 7 years since Clemens had escaped from jail. He was in Central Asia at that time, and was wandering around in a village fair. In that fair, he saw different things to eat. He felt like eating, but he did not have money. So he kept a stone on his heart and moved on. Then he saw 2 girls who were selling pancakes in the fair. Clemens wanted to eat these pancakes, but that poor guy did not have a penny in his pocket. So he got dejected and started moving onwards. But then, one of those girls felt sorry for him and broke a piece of pancake and gave it to Clemens. At first, Clemens felt a little strange. Then he thanked the girls and ate the pancake. Now there was a Jewish man who had seen all this. Then Clemens went to a church, and this man followed him to the church. This man was also a prisoner once upon a time, so he did not hand Clemens over to the police and tried to help him. Then he took Clemens home, where Clemens shaved after many years and came back to his old holy. The man then gave Clemens a new passport so he could cross the Russian border to Germany. Clemens was very pleased with the man. Before leaving, Clemens thanked him and started off for the Russian-German border. A few weeks later, Clemens reached the Russian border and showed his passport to the Russian policeman there. Clemens was afraid that the policeman might recognize him or catch his fake passport, but luckily, nothing like that happened, and the policeman allowed Clemens to cross the border to the border. Now seeing this, Clemens was so happy that he could not stop his laugh even if he wanted to. Now finally, he reached the bridge, which, after crossing, he would reach his country, Germany. But as soon as he reached halfway, a bright light fell on his eyes, and when he opened his eyes, he found the warden in front of him. Now when Clemens looked back, he was still on Russian land, and this meant that the warden could still arrest him. Now here, Clemens' heart broke, because his hard work of so many years was now going to go to waste. But then something happened which even Clemens himself had not expected. Here, the warden made way for him and allowed him to go ahead. At first, Clemens did not believe it, but still, he courageously moved ahead. In fact, the warden was very inspired by Clemens' will to stay alive and his bravery. That is why he did not arrest Clemens and let him go back to his country. And then the warden tells him, "This fight was just between 2 soldiers. One was me and one was you, and you won it. Go and live your life." Now finally, Clemens crossed the border and reached his country, Germany. After this, he reached near his house, where he saw his daughter and wife. Now after some time, they both left the house to go to the church, and Clemens also followed them and reached the church. However, Clemens had not called his daughter yet, because he was hopeful that one day her father would definitely come. When his daughter turned back, she recognized her father and ran to hug him and hugged him. Now, after so many years, seeing Clemens alive, his wife's happiness knew no bounds. Finally, all 3 of them hugged each other, and with this, the film based on a true story ends here. I hope you liked today's story.